Hello, and welcome to another week of the Abuse Cartoons live stream. And it looks like, everything seems to be working. So let me know in the chat if you can't hear me or see me or something. But yeah, so we're back. So yeah, apologies for last week. It wasn't going to happen physically, and I don't want to go into too many details because then if I ever go back to the U.S. and want health insurance, they have a video record of pre-existing conditions. But so I switched medications on the weekend, and the new one didn't start, and so I was in pretty bad shape. So here now and seem to be back to somewhat normal. So hopefully this will go okay. The camera is still the cheap little webcam, so it's going to be the green screen's a little rough, but we'll work with this. So I hope everyone is doing well and you didn't miss me too much. It was hard. I couldn't get anything done for the cartoon until Saturday, so it was it was a bad week, but back at it this week. And so last week was all Halloween, so I'm not sure if I'm going to continue that or not. We'll see how the chat goes. But so we're getting closer to the end of this month. I just want to be in mid-November and start to get some things behind us as far as the news cycle at least changing. All right. It's a little bit, sensitivity's a little odd. Or me. It's been 2 weeks, so maybe it's me. Or not 2 weeks, but it's been a few days. I did the ones on the weekend without much fanfare. So we'll take a look at those in the when we do comments, so you can see what happens when I'm on my own. All right. But so it was a little scary. I didn't know if I was going to have to go back and get things sorted out again. But I guess some of these, and the doctor didn't specify, which really sucks, but didn't specify how long it was going to take for things to start to get back to normal. But yeah, it really made me think. And I've heard older people, I guess now I'm older people, but I guess I've heard older people saying that, and especially when I lived in California, that they tried to use natural remedies and you know, diet changes and things for them, things that they could do on their own prior to medication, because a lot of the medication basically means, you know, it becomes kind of part of your body chemistry and you take it for the rest of your life. But sometimes, like what happened to me, it just stops working. It just, you know, stops having the effect. So that's very, very bizarre. But it is really disturbing when you see medication that says, you know, usually there's a duration, you know, take it for 1 week or whatever, you know, however the standard, the standard amount of time that you need to use it. You know, usually like antibiotics and things, it's like a week. And so when I was reading up on this new medication, the duration was for the rest of your life. So that's nice, but it's really it really is scary, and you don't have a much of a concept of that until you do get older and realize, well, is that really what I want to do? So yeah, people like, you know, dealing with diabetes or things, you know, they're pretty much stuck with medication. Although some people do, you know, lose weight and kind of get healthy enough that they start to come back from, especially, you know, not childhood diabetes, but the type 2, whichever one is brought on by you know, by body weight and things like that. But yeah, that whole idea of just being stuck with, you know, everyday medication and taking those pills, or else you're gonna start to have significant trouble. And it's all related, because it is, you know, all lousy diet, lousy lifestyle, and so many of those things are, you know, cultural, and you just have them. I mean, some things are genetic, and, you know, like I know even people in Japan that have like insanely high cholesterol just genetically, so they have to take medication for that. But it's really creepy that everyone is going to, and literally everyone is going to get to the point where they're going to be on something, you know, blood thinners or something to prevent, you know, cardiac events or something. I don't know what I'm doing, what I'm drawing here, but yeah, it's really scary that that's like, you know, what we've decided everyone's lifestyle is going to be. Yeah, because when you're younger and you see those, you know, what look like the Plano boxes or the you know, the little compartment boxes, but they have, you know, Monday, Tuesday. Hey, Sedona, how's it going? They have the days of the week on the boxes. Like, woof, yeah. So I guess you put your medication in those little days of the week boxes, and that's the rest of your life. You're going to be filling those boxes and looking in there every week. So yeah, those sorts of things are yeah, really depressing when you get to that point where it's like, okay, well, I've got, you know, according to my family's lifespan, I've got you know, 30 more years of this, you know, of counting medication, and it's just insane. But the one thing that I saw recently, actually, I should see if I can find the actual image, so I don't misquote the numbers. But there was an article. There was an article showing how insanely good the health insurance is in Japan, and they just somebody like just screen capped their image, the image of their father's like bypass surgery. I think it was like heart. Yeah, let's try that. Their father's heart surgery bill, and you know what the bill was. Oh yeah, here we go. Oh, I found it. That was good. Yeah, easy. Okay, so this is, and I'm gonna have to like, adapt this to, I'm sorry, convert this for you. So here we go. So somebody just put this clip. So this is the bill for the father's heart surgery. So 7 million yen is about $70,000. So a million yen is about $10,000. So because basically you just take two. I should do this with the cursor. You can't see my pen. Just take two decimal places off because it's about 1 yen to this. It's about like 0.8 or it varies. Right now I think it's pretty strong. So but it's around 1 yen to 1 cent. So you take two decimal places off. So that's $70,000 was the cost, and the amount due is $537.60. And this is not expensive insurance. This is the standard national health insurance available to anyone, even myself, even a resident alien living here. And this is insane. I mean, $70,000 or $500. Which do you think would have a bigger effect on your budget and your retirement? Hey K5, nice to see you. Ranting about the healthcare system. So that is a huge a huge motivation to retire in Japan, because those are the kind of medical bills I'm looking at, and the copays are like between $10 and maybe $25. And that's like having x-rays or whatever. I mean, having like pretty what would be expensive procedures. Those are what the copays are. So during each visit you have like very small amounts, and but this is what happens to a heart surgery bill. It goes from $70,000 to $500. It's insane. It's like really, really insane. So so I've been thinking about all that fun stuff during my missed last week. But so I hope everybody else is doing better, doing well, doing better. But yeah, I thought that was a really and so I think the U.S. just has to get that figured out, because you can't have that minefield, that kind of health minefield, especially with diet and lifestyle in the U.S. You're driving everywhere. Most people are just driving everywhere, and so you're just all seated constantly, and there's so much amazing, tempting, unhealthy food, and of course later in life you're going to be a mess, and then rely on health insurance. So it's crazy. But yeah, I thought it was an insane example, because that would be a life ruining, a second mortgage on your house or lose your house kind of bill for a lot of people. Depending on what their retirement situation was. I'm drawing women's wallets. I don't know what I'm doing here. All right. Oh, nice. K5 is employed. Excellent. Wow. Yeah. 10,000 for a CT. Jeez. Yeah. Yeah. It's insane. Yeah. I had a, when I had some mysterious illness, I had a CT scan, and I think we paid like 3,000 yen, so $30, on that day, 30 something dollars. Yeah, it was crazy. But excellent. All right. Well, congrats, K5. I'm glad it appears that things are, going better in the economy and job-wise in the U.S. That's great. I'm glad to hear it, and glad to see you again. Yeah, it's been a while. It's been a while since I've been online. So, yeah, good timing. Well, that's great. Great news. So things will be more stable, and that's a kind of job. A delivery job is, I don't think, something that they can lock down. So that's great, because you're not specifically face to face with people all day. So that's great. So it's been an interesting week. A photoresin printer. I'm guessing. Yeah, I'm guessing a resin printer. Oh, that's cool if you did. Yeah, that's very cool. Yeah, the frustrating thing in Japan with resin printers is they're making it difficult. I got to find a better source. They're making it difficult to get isopropyl alcohol. They have ethanol, or yeah, I think ethanol. The whatever based grain based alcohol, which I guess works, but they recommend always recommend the isopropyl for cleaning parts. Yes, a photon mono. Oh, congrats! Oh, that's so sweet. Nice. Well, I'm gonna have to keep an eye on your Instagram and see what you're up to with that. That's great. Yeah, that'll be really fun. Yeah, almost. It's funny. A lot of the game people that I played with and met with in Japan, a lot of them have headed back to the U.S. In previous years, and that's one of the first purchases because I guess it's hard, in a small apartment or whatever in Japan. It's hard to deal with 3D printing, and as soon as they get back to the U.S. and they have more room, that's the first purchase because they want to print miniatures and terrain and things. So that's really cool. Yeah, I can't wait to see. I'll keep an eye on your Instagram K5 and see what you are doing with that. Uh, it's... Oh, cool. Yeah, nice, nice. Yeah, there's a lot of skills to pick up, but it's definitely worth it. And a lot of that stuff is very marketable, as you probably know, because you can prototype things and yeah, do a lot of work for clients with that. So that's really cool. Yeah, because I think a lot of plastic pieces for just about everything, board games or you know, any industrial parts or whatever, they're all prototyped and sometimes even just cast from the a professional resin prototype. Like they'll or what's that called? They'll do the one off the proof. They'll proof it with a 3D printer and then just tool the molds and everything from that. So it's becoming a huge part of things. Wow, very fun. Yeah, CAT scan. Yeah, right, right. Yes, a lovely, affordable $10,000 CAT scan. That's crazy. Yeah, what was that? Oh yeah, yeah, right, right. When I was having, yeah, I thought I had some kidney thing years back, and it turned out I was just having really weird side pains, and it just turned out it was some kind of like muscle thing. But they did a CAT scan, and it's weird to see your body all in slices, and that was weird to see. But yeah, and it was interesting too because the doctor was talking about like genetically the difference between like Western, like when he's looking at a Western patient's CAT scan, like musculature and everything is very different. Just like how where the body stores fat and everything is different genetically between the Japanese and the Western. And it may when they say foreign, it basically means Western European. That like is the weird default because even though most foreigners in Japan are not from Europe or not from Europe or America, most foreigners are Asian foreigners. They're from Southeast Asia. That still is when you say foreigner in Japanese, the image is still that it's a European descent tourist, whatever that means. Uh, yes. Yeah, so that I think I was talking about that before on the stream. That's the thing where once tourism really increased, so did like small crimes, like small theft, and so there's an express train that goes from the one of the central train stations in Osaka to the airport because the airport is a man-made island like floating off the coast, and there's these really nice express trains. Sorry. They get you there really quick because it's Japan. You can take your giant, international travel suitcases and just stick them in this little area with a bar to kind of hold them in place, right by the door. And it turned out that people just started walking off the train because it has a few stops. It's an express, but there's a few. Sorry, there's a few stops between the train station and the original station in the city, and people will just hover around and step off the train with tourist suitcases because a lot of times they're bringing back a lot of goods and stuff that can be resold. So now they have to basically bicycle chain locks there for every bag that's on there. So you don't have much time. You've just got like 10 seconds or something to get on and off the train. So now you really have to be paying attention, when the train is stopping and getting ready to unlock all of your bags because people were just walking off with bags on the train. And so those sorts of things started happening, and there was kind of a conflict with foreigners on the train because of like language barriers and stuff, because Japan basically only speaks Japanese and some English. And so there were warnings on the train. They would announce in Japanese to be careful of foreigners. And when they say the word foreigner, gaijin, when they say gaijin in Japanese, everybody pictures the blonde white guy, and so they don't mean those people, but you're part of the group. So when you've got people from Southeast Asia that have got a luggage scam going, you're going to get called out. So that's the difficulty, because any like legislation, if they start making laws, even though the legislature moves very slowly in Japan, but if they make laws against foreigners, that includes everybody. So it's a very strange. It would be like, I guess there's some like weird catch-all, group names in the U.S. too that aren't very accurate. I mean, I guess just white is very inaccurate. I guess that's about as inaccurate as saying foreigner. But it's that sort of thing where it's a huge group of very diverse people, but they're just gaijin. They're just not Japanese. Yeah, basically, that's the idea. They're just not Japanese. uh, oh wow. Wow, yeah. Ooh, twisted ovaries or twisted, tubes. Ouch. That's insane. Yeah, that's really insane. Uh, yeah. I can't believe the medical expenses like that. And because so many hospitals are owned by corporations, they've just become corporatized because it's difficult to run on a smaller scale. It's difficult to run hospitals, and on the side of the hospital, one serious malpractice case, with merit or not, can have a huge effect. Can shut down a hospital, and so it's balanced by that kind of ridiculous thing where that now hospitals are in these corporate groups. So it's just like a credit card company. They're very faceless, and they don't care at all about you know what you're dealing with as far as paying a bill. And they'll send you to collections, or come after you as hard as they want for you know insanely priced procedures. Yeah, that's crazy. Yeah, so I don't miss that because basically it's hard to you can't be uninsured in Japan. It's very difficult because it's so easy and affordable, and there's a public option and everything. So, yeah, they really need to do that. But the difference would be then, so when you go to some clinics or hospitals in Japan, it's everything is older. You know, everything has been used for 50 years, and they don't have the latest. They can send you to like newer hospitals or university hospitals or whatever that have more latest technology and latest testing. But when you have affordable healthcare, and I'm sure like Canadian people know this and British people know this, like anybody that has that kind of option, you know, you're not, you know, they have like a kind of layers that you're going to be filtered through. So first you're going to go to a local clinic with a very simple, you know, kind of diagnostic equipment and things. So that would be the big change, because I think with these corporate hospitals, people are used to going into these bright, shiny, everything is new, you know, all the latest stuff kind of clinics, because they just keep building those. And that would be the big change. But, you know, if people can afford to pay out of pocket, then they can have whatever bright, shiny, new new treatment they want. But I think it would just be so much better. And I wonder though, because that's a thing, that's a huge cultural difference in Japan, is every time you get a cold or a cough or something, you go to the doctor, you go to the local clinic. So the lines and the crowds are pretty significant here, but that's because everybody goes all the time, and especially when you're older. And that also means that they catch things very early, because they're constantly seeing you, and they're constantly, you know, up to date on your kind of physical condition. And the tendency is just, oh, I don't feel good, I'm going to go to the doctor. And that involves, hey, Joe, how's it going? Oh, yeah. Which cringy debate? K5. I think both of them were pretty cringy. uh, yeah. And I guess, I don't know if we're going to get another one, because the vice presidents only do one, and there's supposed to be 3 presidential debates. The second one was supposed to be virtual because of because of someone's bad weather condition. That was insane. I was just talking like politics with my mother on the phone right before that happened, and then Trump was diagnosed, and that was too funny. It's like, you can't, if you wanted to write a farce, you know, of American politics, you couldn't write better than what is actually happening. Like, it's reality trumps, whoa, anything. Literally trumps anything that you could come up with. It's just such a bad joke, and it's really stranger than fiction. It's much more. But so that timing was so funny and so insane. But there was something I wanted to. I saved the article and, of course, never went back to it. But somebody wrote an essay talking about how politicized the Spanish flu was in the 1918, or the early 20th century, and so it's the exact same thing. So we should have known. I mean, people were thinking, wow, this is really going to bring people together, and we're all going to be facing this invisible enemy together, and it should, maybe it'll change the divisions and things. But no, it's actually, disease is incredibly politicized, and it always has been. So we should have been expecting that. We should have just been ready for things to just go absolutely crazy. The fly, that was so bizarre. Things like that, you can't even, if you would have written something like that happened, that wouldn't even be close to as funny as the actual thing. And the fact that his white hair showed a perfect showed it up perfectly on camera. Yeah, somebody said that he's lucky that it landed and went away, because it probably had so much hairspray on that bizarre hairstyle that it could have gotten stuck and just suffered for the whole rest of the debate. We slowly watched it die in the aquanet that it was becoming encased in. Yeah, it's very, very funny. Yeah, I like the that's a nice new debate style. I mean, but that like sounds exactly like all of these, round table discussion shows, or like The View or whatever. And like if you take any show on American television where people are discussing a topic, it's just like five people talking on top of each other, and you can't hear anything. And now I'm glad that our presidential debates have just become that, just like a moderator and two, oh yeah, I should find that, a moderator and two people yelling at each other. The funniest thing to come out of the uh, presidential debate was NHK, who is the kind of PBS, the public television of Japan, publicly funded television of Japan, maybe more BBC, more like BBC, because they're a little shady, but as far as like what they do with the funds, um, they have rapid interpreters, like high speed like translation that happens live. So for this presidential debate, they televised it in Japan and had three translators talking over three people that were talking over each other. So basically, six people, half speaking English, half speaking Japanese, um, were talking, yeah, talking over each other, and it's just insane. Okay. Yeah, but just a mess. Oh, now they're doing the Supreme Court. Wow. Oh, here we go. Yeah, but the oh no, it's all analysis. Yeah, I really want to find, but I listened to just a few seconds clip that they posted online of that, and literally six people talking over each other in multiple languages. It's not even, you can't even tell what anybody is saying and what even language most people are speaking. uh yeah. Oh, it's all oh yeah, here we go. Translators attempt. uh yeah, it's just insane. Oh yeah, somebody posted it on Twitter. Okay, wait a minute here. Did I figure out? So I can't do the sound. So maybe I can do the window. Here's me again, not pre-planning anything. Let's try this, and yeah, I'm sure I'm going to do all this since let me listen to it first, make sure it's the one I'm in. It's not. Yeah, I'll have to find a good part of it, but it's funny because it's mostly women. Women, I think, are the best rapid translators, rapid interpreters, and so it's women's voices, women's Japanese voices on top of yeah, arguing American politicians, but it's just lovely. Yeah, so window capture, is that going to give me the sound? Let's find out. Okay. There's the window. And let's see if I get the sound from this. I do not. Let me see what I can. Just a little bit of. Yeah, nothing is giving me like desktop audio. It's just going to be the camera. Yeah, that's not it. uh, yeah, it's. But anyhow, you can look that up. Um, the trying to keep up with that rapid translation. So a bunch of people posted it on Twitter. So if you see the debate with Japanese, that's what that is. Insane. Yeah, doing things on the fly. Yeah, a fly would be better at it, I think. Yeah, I need a fly stuck in my hair. Actually, I'm glad we're getting past the insect season. I feel sorry for Americans. A baffled world watches the debates. Uh yeah, the you gotta figure out the best way to do that because it'd be fun to just drag stuff up. I guess I could. Hmm. Yeah, I don't know. My because I can capture the window, but then I can't capture the audio from the window like just by default, just instantly. Hey, how's it going? Spaghetti. Spaghetti. Yeah, the moderators have been pretty terrible, and it's really meaningless. I mean, I don't think, especially in the situation we're in, it's going to change anybody's mind because when they first started televising the debates, like they always say that the Kennedy Nixon debate, I think one of the first televised presidential debates, like basically won the election for Kennedy because he looked young and vital and quick witted, and Nixon was like sitting under the hot lights, just sweating like an animal, just looking terrible and old. And so there's a huge generation gap, and of course television is more, at that time, especially for the young, and they that visual, won the presidency, and I don't think that's the case anymore. I mean, you have two ancient men arguing with each other. Uh, yeah, it's crazy. But yeah, glad to see everybody. I apologize again for missing last week. It was a physical thing instead of a scheduling thing. So sometimes it's my bizarre schedule. But yeah, I literally could not sit up. I had such an insane migraine, and yeah, it was brutal. And I didn't think I was gonna. I mean, I was basically out the whole week. I didn't get anything done last week. So the cartoon actually got done over the weekend. So I just finished it a few days ago for last week. Uh, it was bad, but I'm getting back to normal. Yeah, yeah, it was kind of a weird. Yeah, Joe. There's the go to travel. So always Japan kind of screws up the grammar of things, but they have a go to program, and they're starting to offer it. I think to American military as well. But they're trying to encourage domestic travel because so many of the small inns, like the traditional Japanese inns and hot spring hotels and things, are going out of business. And the danger of that is they're going to go out of business and just be bought by Chinese because they don't need to make money. They just need to have safe Chinese friendly places to visit when tourism comes back. So there's very controlled international travel right now and no tourism. I think everybody that can come in and out of the country has to have a more than 90-day visa, so that eliminates the travel visa. So it has to be some sort of business or a culture visa or something. And they were reimbursing. I think it's only like 30% or something, but they did this a few months ago, like kind of in the midst of new spikes of numbers spiking in Tokyo, and so a lot of people were critical of the government. Just like in every other country, you know, you're encouraging people to travel, and especially during these national holidays, you're encouraging people to travel, giving them a discount, but you're just spreading, may possibly be spreading things between areas that are having high numbers and areas that have nothing, because most of the tourist areas, of course, are rural, temples or coastal hotels and things, so very small town areas. But So that was that program. So people were critical of it, but of course, everybody quietly took advantage of it if they could, if they wanted to travel with their family. But yeah, it's they're just kind of struggling to figure out how to save things because without that easy Chinese and Korean money, um, a lot of the small hotels and things are failing. But just like with Japanese, like the small scale Japanese agriculture and everything, the government can prop these businesses up. It's not like they don't do that. Like you always hear complaints about Japanese protectionism and how they unfairly support their domestic business. They've always done that, and that's how you keep things alive and not rely on you know the whims of foreign tourists or whatever, or foreign governments, the you know diplomacy between countries. So yeah, so it was kind of a very weak attempt to encourage domestic tourism, because that's one of the reasons that, especially during the bubble time, kind of the 80s and early 90s, that Japanese people were everywhere. You saw Japanese, that was kind of the stereotype. There's always a Japanese tourist with a camera everywhere, all over the world. It was so ubiquitous because it's cheaper to travel abroad than it is to travel in Japan. So the cost of domestic travel in Japan is very expensive. So that's why a lot of people would choose, because they want a picture of themselves in front of the pyramids or in front of the Mona Lisa or something, and that's more status as far as being a tourist than we saw this temple, we saw this little seaside area, whatever. That's okay, but it doesn't have the status, and also because it's very expensive. Domestic travel is always more expensive in Japan, but it's safe and it's amazing. So it's just people like the exotic, I think, more so. There's more, and there's a bit more status always to foreign travel or whatever. So that was kind of encouraging. That go-to travel was encouraging people to go to places. And I think they're I thought I heard something talking about go to eat or something, go to that would reimburse you or give you a discount, like publicly funded discount to go to restaurants, because it's the other thing that's dying out is restaurant business is not good because they enforce the social distancing. So it's whatever percent. I'm not sure what it is in Japan. I've only heard like American numbers, but they limit the tables. It's basically, I think, like at least 50% of the space has to be removed, table wise and everything, to keep people spaced correctly. So they're doing a go to eat as well. Right. Yeah, that's the big buy. You're right, Joe. Yeah, people in Tokyo are angry because they're the biggest city, and of course they have the biggest numbers. They have the most bad weather in Tokyo, so they were all angry that it didn't include them. And basically, that's the thing. If people want to travel, they want to visit Tokyo. That's the most common domestic travel, is you go there for shopping and for the scale of things, the theater and museums and all of the culture. It's just like New York, so a lot of people would want to go to New York, but nope, Tokyo's not on that list. So they were just trying to encourage the places that were going out of business. And if those places do die and are not not protected, there's going to be a huge part of Japanese culture that just disappears. Because if you've ever traveled to the Japanese run kind of ryokan or onsen, the hot spring hotel kind of areas, the service and the style of everything is so amazing. I mean, it's just like there's no level of hotel in any other city in the world that has the kind of service and care and quality of food and quality of accommodations that these Japanese inns have. It's amazing. I mean, you basically have someone that is just attending to you the whole time. They're constantly going in and out, bringing everything. They because the beds are futon, so they take your beds out at certain times and are just like paying total attention to your schedule and what you're doing the whole time. It's amazing. It's so much work, but it's such a nice experience. You feel so taken care of. So the hospitality and the kind of care and service is on a whole other level. And once that's gone from the world, there will be nothing like that again, because you're not using, plastic or paper key cards to go into a place where somebody was smoking a cigar and their dog was jumping on the bed. Like, you don't, it's a totally different experience from, even a very high end, American hotel. I mean, it's more than just like a fruit basket and, unlimited champagne room service or whatever counts as luxury now. But when that goes, it's going to be the death of like probably the last like huge level of service. Yeah, but yeah, it's crazy. Yeah, that's right. Well, that's what they're saying too. Is uh, in Japan they keep warning, because it's 100% mask, that people don't even question it because mask is such a standard thing here in Japan, and but going out and drinking after work and socializing and eating after work, of course no one's wearing a mask. They're yelling in each other's faces because it's the whole, everyone's talking, and so everything is loud, and you're drinking, so you're lowering your immune system, you're spitting all over each other's faces, talking very close. And so that they're saying that that is right now what's spreading things the most, is kind of after work stuff, but that's the only thing that keeps people sane here and kind of surviving their their miserable office life, is actually being able to blow off some steam and relieve some stress after work. And if you can't do that, it's that's, I can't imagine the suicide rate. Oh yeah, and finally it finally happened. The one line, because it's been a while, but the one line was shut down a couple of days ago from person interacting with train, and I guess somebody was reporting on Twitter or whatever. It was the bad one. Yeah, it was. Oh, no, I was actually close to the station. It was. Oh, I'm so glad it wasn't on that day, but it was close to the station where the university is that I work with, and I guess it was a messy one because it was almost impossible to kind of conceal it, because you'll know something is really gruesome in Japan when they start to put up the blue plastic tarps. So if you ever see on the news or whatever some incident in Japan and they put up blue plastic, you know whatever's behind there you don't want to see. And I guess it was a pretty gruesome. So finally, we're starting to actually see those effects. Uh, wow. Okay, five. Yeah, there probably is. Yeah, there probably, because imitating kind of European luxury and stuff. Yeah, like having gold leaf and things on. I'm sure there is. I'm sure there's like an incredibly decadent, because there's like a level of dining here that probably exists in different places all over the world. But there's a level of dining that is just like ridiculous, and like your meal is $10,000, guaranteed for two people, and it's just kind of crazy. Delicacies and things that very rare, odd food. There's some restaurants that specialize in that, and those are only places you go through recommendation, and yeah, that kind of stuff. But yeah, there's a lot of hidden insane luxury. Yeah, the mask thing is so, yeah, it's so strange. I can't believe how politicized it's become, and how people don't even think about it here. It's a very interesting difference, because being conscious of the group and being like more conscious of people around you. So like I think I talked about the manners of eating in a group in Japan. So people are looking at the menu and trying to decide what they want to eat, and if they can't quite figure it out, they just say "me too." They just say, "Yeah, I'll have that as well." Same for me. So as soon as somebody decides, the whole group orders, and they usually all order the same thing, because it just makes it so easy. And like, okay, you're matching the group, you're not making it more difficult, the order took a lot less time. And so it's a very common kind of politeness. It's just like same. It's like six people and they're all going to eat the same dinner, just because they don't want to take time and ask questions like so what's this, or what kind of sauce is this, or whatever. Like they don't have that kind of mentality. So it's kind of group first thinking, and it's not because of any political thing or anything. It's just this kind of this cultural etiquette. And so then when you have things like sickness and masks and things, it's just, why would you argue that? Like, why are you more important than anybody else, and why not do that? Yeah, so it's a very different thing, because people, I think, are seeing it, and I don't think it's completely inaccurate. Hey, Hazmat, how's it going? I don't think it's completely inaccurate to be suspicious of what they're doing with masks and things in the U.S., which is a shame, because I don't think Japanese politicians aren't seeing the bad weather as an opportunity to grab power. But I think in America that may be the case, is testing how far people are going to tolerate certain things, and I think that's a little frustrating for American people, because you can't not be suspicious of, okay, well, why are we suddenly doing this if we don't exactly have any idea the results, or we don't know definitively that this is saving people's lives, but you want to write me a ticket for $50 to raise funds for the city. I don't know, what are we doing here? That's a little frustrating and a little suspicious, and it's just too bad that there's so little trust between the public and the government, and for good reason. But there's so little trust that once the U.S. announces they have a vaccine, people will be like, no thanks. I mean, that's literally going to happen. You're going to have half the people say, okay, praise science. We have a vaccine, and then you're going to have half the people say, no, I'm fine. That's insane. I mean, that's just so that'll be the next big issue. As soon as there is a vaccine that's not making people horribly ill, then it's going to be a compulsory type thing. And of course, America has a wonderful history with not liking to be vaccinated. So that'll be another fun fight to watch, is people, tinfoil hatting the vaccine. But it's similar to mass. It's public health, and it's people thinking that they can choose something else when it comes to public health. No, I'm not part of this group. So it's a very interesting difference, a very interesting mentality, and I forget it. I forget about that a lot. So that's starting to feel foreign to me when I see the fights and reactions in the U.S. with masks and things, because it's starting to feel foreign. But that's that's where I'm from. Yeah, and I wonder how I would be feeling right now, like in the midst of that, having no other exposure or whatever. I wonder how angry I would be about masks right now. No idea. Oh, I shouldn't resize things yet. Oh, thanks. That's good. Yeah, I'm glad to see everybody here. That's great. It's been a while since so my timing was better than usual. And actually here, I'm not sure how many announcements I should make on Twitter and things when I changing the stream and stuff, because I think just the notifications through Twitch or YouTube probably handle that well enough. But but I was trying to kind of keep things updated on Twitter, but I don't think it's that necessary. And I need to grow this channel to the point where I can actually post updates, do posts on YouTube, because then you get a notification. I can leave a message or whatever, and then post as a notification about what's going on. Because otherwise, I guess I would have to post a video, do one of those quick live videos to do updates to the channel. I don't want those hanging around, especially how terrible I probably looked last week. That was a little scary. Yeah. Yeah, things are getting back to normal. It was a little scary there for a moment. Yeah, because I had that weird, whatever happened to me at the beginning of the year, maybe, who knows what that was. But it involved crazy blood pressure fluctuation. And so I had these insane migraines that I was dealing with. And I'd never felt anything like that before. I was literally putting just big ice packs directly on my head, and hurting my hurting my skin, hurting my head to actually be able to fall asleep, and then I would wake up from the pain. It was so insane. And so I went to the clinic, and actually I had to give me an injection to get my blood pressure down. So something spiked my blood pressure when I was, whatever that infection was, and So yeah, so that kind of came back. Not the sickness, but the headaches came back again, and that was really worrying because I'd had, you know, a long time. It was 10 months of no headaches, and in my lifetime, I've never had 10 months with no headaches. So I've always had migraines and things, but mostly because of too much coffee or whatever when I was younger, like just abusing, like probably all caffeine withdrawal. But it was amazing to have that, like, no headaches. And even through like those storm seasons and everything, the rainy seasons, always the high pressure from actual bad weather, not metaphorical bad weather, would hurt my head. And so that came back, and that was a little scary. So I couldn't even sit up. I couldn't even. It would just be like the back of my head. Because literally, when I drew last week's cartoons, I was just on the table like this. And so finally, I guess it takes a week. The doctor said nothing, but I guess it takes a week for the new medication to kind of kick in. So I just suffered for a week of just waiting for some relief. And it wasn't like I could go back to the old medication because it stopped. So it stopped working. So who knows? Oh, hibiscus tea. That's a good idea. Yeah, I want to look for like the kind of natural remedies. Yeah, there's a few things in Japan too that they have that are kind of like Chinese medicine based things. But that's a good idea, Yum. Yeah, I should do that, shouldn't I? Is when I finish the cartoons, is post them on Twitter, because I have no limitation. The syndication doesn't limit me at all. I can post these cartoons, their site and as well as anywhere else, because they have a closed community. It's like a membership thing. So I'm not wouldn't directly be competing with them because I still own the cartoon. They're just syndicating it, so they just have the right to put ads, put advertising and stuff on it. So that's a good idea. Yeah, posting stuff on Twitter. I gotta come up with some good hashtags too. I gotta look and see what other people are doing for cartooning, and Instagram too. There's no Abuse Cartoons Instagram. That might be a good thing to do. Yeah, I don't know. That's a lot to maintain. I'm so terrible at maintaining social media net accounts. Just don't update for the longest time, or just don't interact. And I guess there's a lot of solutions for that. There's a lot of auto posting kind of stuff that you can do. So I should look into that. Oh, and I played around with Teespring. Oh, that's cool. Well, thanks, Yum. Yeah, that's a good idea. It's probably one of the best places to try to get exposure, because it's all hashtag based. And I'm totally not doing the Inktober right now. We're in the middle of Inktober, and that's a good way on Instagram especially. It's a good way to build followers and things. But it's just, from previous years, it's really fun to see all the work and to have people start following you that are also artists. But then it's just artists looking at each other's work. So it reminds me of like poetry readings, where you go to some little coffee shop and you read your poetry, and a bunch of other people that also wrote poetry are sitting there listening to it, and then you just take turns getting up and reading to each other. So it becomes like weirdly incestuous, and the work isn't getting anywhere, outside of the community of poetry writers. So I felt that a little bit with Instagram when I was doing Inktober, and but it was nice to see the variety of stuff that's out there. But Twitter would be that would be a real easy and a good way to kind of keep posting things. I think, what did I do? Yeah, I had some mess. I was trying to solve this problem like years ago, and I think I hooked up, which I don't think exists anymore, but I hooked a Twitter account up to auto post onto my Facebook, and then on my website, I set up some WordPress that would auto post to Twitter, and then of course that would feed over to Facebook. But something, when I set it up, I had it index the folders, and so it just took 1,000 cartoons, posted them on Twitter, and then that all posted onto Facebook. So I just like flooded my accounts with this giant archive. I don't think it was quite 1,000, but because I stopped it once I saw the nightmare I had created. but I'm not particularly good with setting up the automation and stuff, because I did try that previously. Oh, and an update for t-shirts too. Yeah, I was thinking doing like every week, just posting t-shirts, and I tried. Teespring is a little. I haven't even seen the quality of their merchandise. I've heard some people say it's not amazing, but their interface is kind of a pain in the ass. I was trying to load stuff up and see how many different items I could kind of automatically create with one uploaded image, and it starts to kind of flake out on you. The interface is really weird, and it's complaining about image sizes and stuff. And the image size of these cartoons is insanely high resolution, 600 dpi, so I shouldn't have any trouble, with anything. And their interface was complaining, so I'll have to find something that I can more easily. But that would be fun, just every week to put these on t-shirts and just make that part of what I post. But yeah, Twitter, I'll definitely, I should get on that as part of what I do every week, because that would be much more fun. Yeah, and I know the on social media, especially Twitter and Instagram, the daily artist thing really took off. Probably about almost 10 years ago now. But so many people built their careers and exposure just by doing art every day. So like their warm up art would just go onto Instagram or whatever, and then they would get down to the work for their client or whatever they were doing for pay. But that really, really started to create followers, and so that became a really common style of just the daily art. And then some people would do like live streams, or maybe like not live streams, but the high speed. They would record drawing something, and they would do like make the high speed video of it. And then you'd watch it being drawn, and then they would sell it. Then it would be available for sale. So every day, do some little sketch or watercolor or something, and then sell that every day. So I think some people, if you develop enough of a following, or people like your style, or you get some people collecting you, it really wouldn't even have to be that many people that wanted to collect your work. That if you were doing daily pieces, you could have a satisfying stream. But I don't need to totally rely on cartooning, and I don't know. It's so I mean, I do as well as I'm gonna be able to do. I don't think I'm gonna have any incredible improvement at this point. I think I draw about as well as I'm ever gonna draw, and so that's a little frustrating to see how how talented, or how that's the certain styles or certain levels of ability is where I wish I could have gotten to at certain points. So that becomes a little discouraging and frustrating, I think, for anybody creative, like reading other people's writing, or anybody other people's music. Sometimes it's not inspiring, it's actually discouraging. It's like, I should be at that level and I'm not. So that kind of thing is always a little rough. And the kind of echo chamber of people on creative sites are doing stuff. Nobody really says you suck when you post stuff. Maybe they do, I don't know. But I'm imagining my image of like deviant art and things is that everyone's like, oh, awesome, cool, whatever, regardless of they're just being blindly encouraging. And I don't think that's particularly healthy for getting good at anything. But no, I should. Twitter is something I have not taking enough advantage of. But also, here's a good point though. Also, my the name of my cartoon would also, I think, become a wonderful target on Twitter. I don't need to get canceled because somebody decided that they didn't like the name of this cartoon. It's something I've always been conscious of too, is promoting myself too hard. I'm gonna, there's a weird happy medium between not successful enough, not having enough of a following, having like this perfect like Goldilocks level, just right level of popularity where you can make a living off of what you're doing, and then becoming too popular when then you just become a target of ridicule and cancellation attempts. So there is a sweet spot in there that I think is important. Yeah, I don't think hashtag domestic abuse is gonna be a popular. I mean, it'll definitely be popular, but I don't think people want to see my stupid cartoons. Yeah, connected to that topic. Yeah, that was the always the thing I was thinking about with the cartoon. Well, thanks, Yum. I appreciate the. Yeah. Oh, cool. Oh, cool, cool. Yeah, yeah. Let me know, Sedona, what kind of quality you're getting, and let me know. Yeah. Thanks, Hazmat. I appreciate that. Yeah. Yeah. It's a funny thing, but yeah, I should use something else because the live streaming ended up being a lot more useful for producing the cartoons than I thought, because I had no idea if I would, you know, what effect it would have. And I just started to do it just as a scheduling kind of thing, just like I'm going to set aside a time every week to work on this to keep up the schedule. And yeah, but the live stream, like the social aspect and everything, it became much more motivational and much more inspirational than I thought. So yeah, so those sorts of things are good. I got to pay attention to that. Yeah. So we'll see. Yeah, I have to double check. I saw a pretty nice package, or like an interface that posts to most social media. So I might yeah, set up an abuse cartoons, because that'd be nice to come up with a standard format to kind of post things. Although that's the frustrating thing, is the kind of character limits for everything is a little bit different, because you have to hit this kind of happy medium or create different posts for each format. That's the thing I'm getting with the streaming too. Somebody, I don't know which of the platforms, limited their characters now in the description text. So I've had to, and maybe it was YouTube, because YouTube's had a lot of changes recently. So I lost my a lot of information on my description, because it won't auto post that anymore. It's giving me this new character limit. Oh, I've been floating around 300 for a while. Yeah, it was over lockdown, I think. I get a couple of the raids that happened during live streams during lockdown pushed me up. I would just get like a couple every week, and I think I was floating around. Yeah, oh, actually, I think I went over. I think Hyphonics said something on his live stream, like, get abuse cartoons over 300, and I think that happened when he said that. I'm not sure, I can't remember when that was, but then it dropped back down, because I think people did it just because they were told to. And then they said, I don't want to watch this cartoon stream, and did that. So yeah, that was funny. Yeah, but I hit 300 a while ago, and then it dropped below and then came back up. So yeah, what am I at now? Like 307. Wow. Yeah, yeah. So it's gone a bit over, but I think that's from like recent raids. I picked up a couple of subscribers every few once in a while. Yeah, no, Sedona, that's a good point. Yeah, the community definitely helps feel inspired and feel like there's an audience, like there's people, like, waiting to see something. I think that helps a lot. Yeah, because yeah, for the longest time, and even when I was first syndicated, like, when I go back through the archives, when stuff was just put in the machine, and they hadn't quite worked their membership and advertising model and everything else. So early on, when I was syndicated at Go Comics, they weren't they were paying me, but they weren't sending, like, not many people were seeing my stuff. And then once they got that all locked down, my followers got crazy on that site. So they really figured things out. I'm not sure if they hired, somebody to kind of negotiate that or navigate that better. But so for a while I was working in a vacuum, and same thing with the live stream. Is I was working in a vacuum and saying hello to family members and things that popped on. But all right, yeah, I'm not sure if any of this. Yeah, I went all. Oh, there we go. I went all Halloween last week. These little cushions are. Yeah, sometimes you just get stuck with these, like, I did that with character work sometimes too. You get stuck with like a satisfying shape or something that's fun to draw, and so you just keep repeating that for character design or whatever. And yeah, you need to kind of be able to break out of those kind of habits. I think I've got the pressure, on the oh, a little lag here. Okay, I got the pressure worked out on the tablet. Okay, so I don't need to keep doing the same sort of thing. But that's another odd thing. I forget the word for it, but there is something kind of soothing to the head, soothing to your brain about repeated motion. So once you kind of find something that's an interesting thing to repeat, so you'll see people that do a lot of intricate, like illustrators and comic artists that'll do little repeated strokes and little repeated patterns, and they'll just sit and kind of, it just numbs your brain and kind of gets you into this like happy zone. And so that's a weird part of the I don't know what that is, that eye hand or whatever, the connection, brain hand cord connection that is weirdly soothing to people. Yeah, you got to be careful. You got to make that work for you, or else you just draw the same thing over and over again as comfort. Wow, that's what I've been doing all warm up here. Weird. I'm getting a little bit of a lag. Yeah, I wonder if it's the video card. Sometimes it'll hang up because I'm running 3 monitors off of a not great video card, so maybe that's what it's complaining about, or just maybe the software. Oh wow. Oh yeah, yeah. No, that's true. Yeah, I mean, that's the whole thing is I like how the name of the cartoon kind of works as a gateway. It's like instantly people that are not going to find this funny or not kind of even figure out my sense of humor are just instantly going to be put off. So it's a nice filter. It definitely helps. And yeah, that's I did T-shirts for San Diego Comic-Con one year that were just there were I forgot if there was a cereal bowl and a box of cereal, and it was the T-shirts just said "abuse me" because that is exactly what this the title is going to create, is a lot of abuse. But yeah, I mean, it's not a big deal, and there's really nothing, because I think my syndicator is cool, so that's the only thing I would have at risk. Everything else I own. I own everything myself. I'm not beholden to any company or anything that I could lose opportunities with if someone decided to just go after me hard online. So that's fine. It's not a dare. I'm not daring anybody. but that's a nice position, because I know, like, I have friends here working for Japanese companies, and it's very tenuous because Japanese companies are super sensitive about any, like, if you literally got into a bar fight and I got arrested, your company may fire you in Japan, especially if you're a foreigner. And drunk driving, you can lose your job. They'll just fire you. They'll just kind of, and I don't know if it's like if they literally have like a morals clause or something in their in their work contracts, or it's just that's just understood. You just don't do that. You're hurting the reputation of the company, so you're gone. I mean, if that's just like an understood thing that doesn't have to be legally, presented or understood. So yeah, and also moonlighting. So actually, if you work for a big company, so a lot of the video game companies or design studios and stuff, if you're working with clients outside of that company doing that same sort of work, they will fire you instantly. It's not even a question. It's just not allowed because because they're trying to prevent that you cherry picking clients away and starting your own thing. So working against competing. So it's kind of like a built-in non-compete thing where there's zero tolerance. So they just kick you off. Yeah, congrats. That's really cool. That's really cool. You got a job in this environment. Because I know there's so many places that just they can't hire. I'm glad I can use your data for you there, K5. That's good. I'll try to run as light as possible. All right. Yeah, but it's a yeah, it's really crazy. And it's funny, just since I've been doing this cartoon, how much things have changed. Because the idea for this cartoon and what I think is funny is not funny anymore in a lot of ways. There's a lot of change in style of humor, and things that are mean or cruel or sad are offensive now to people, or can be. And so that's very funny, very different, because I always thought this was a very light-handed, very it basically came out of my depression. this whole idea came out of just sadness, so the meanness was like kind of aimed inward. But yeah, the sensitivities now are just off the charts, so it's hard to know. And I think you lose as soon as you do that, because there's a few, like I put together, it worked okay for Disney. Like for some reason I was on the same wavelength or whatever when I put together the pitch for the Disney comic. But I've had a lot of bad experiences where I'm trying to figure out an audience, like figure out what somebody would want, like editorially or content-wise. So pitched comics and series and things to different websites and different publishers, and trying to just not doing what you're good at or what you think is good, but instead trying to serve some audience that you kind of are predicting exists is always a bad move. You're always going to screw that up, and it's so frustrating because you're like compromising your ideas, you're compromising your creativity just to have just to be rejected. So that kind of stuff is really, and unfortunately, like some of that stuff, you're not paying attention. You're trying to focus so hard on what somebody might like or what a certain crowd or audience might think is funny or whatever, and you're working so hard at that, you don't realize, well, what if you are successful? What if you do find something that would be popular with an audience that you probably don't even have anything in common with, and then you have to, that becomes your work. You have to do continue the work. You get the job, and now you have to do that stupid idea that you don't really like anyhow. You have to draw that now for the rest of your life. That's the Winnie the Pooh, not related to China at all. The curse of Winnie the Pooh is A.A. Milne, the writer that wrote those stories for his son, and had those cute little sketchy illustrations done for them, and it became so popular as a children's book. And he never wanted to write children's books. He just did it for his son, and it kind of got out and became popular because maybe people had seen it and it was so charming. And then that guy like basically ruined his writing career because he could never write anything but Winnie the Pooh. Like, that was all he was known for. If he wanted to do anything else, people had zero interest in reading his other manuscripts or any other work, because Winnie the Pooh was what he was all about. So you got to be careful. Yeah. Being true to yourself, it has much bigger rewards, I think, ultimately, because as soon as you betray that for, oh, I think I could come up with something that serves an opinion or some agenda or something. As soon as you come up with that, you don't want to have any success because you will regret that so much. It will be just work. It won't be anything enjoyable. All right. Oh no, there's a mystery flavor Mountain Dew. No. Yeah, I missed. We occasionally get some. I don't know if it's like weird overstock or like something that the military bases get rid of or whatever. But you only occasionally find Mountain Dew in Japan, and only straight like Mountain Dew, only the original flavor. Nothing. No Code Red or anything interesting. Okay. I don't know what this is all about. Let's see. I think this angle is going to be too weird. Yeah, I can't believe, now that I've gone over to digital, I can't believe I used to draw this all straight marker onto paper. No wonder some of those cartoons are so insanely wonky looking, because there was no erasing, no going back. Every perspective error and everything is immortalized forever. Yeah, because I would just like basically clean up corners and things. I wouldn't do any other. I don't know if that reads as a Zippo, maybe. But I had no chance to go back. Oh, jeez. Wow. Glass, that's insane. Maybe this is too close. Yeah. Oops, I don't need that line. I think I can just do that with this shadow. Come on. There we go. Okay, there we go. Trying not to do that. Yeah, this tablet is definitely a step down from the full size. I mean, it's also 10% of the price, I think. Less than that, but yeah. Yeah, 1/8 the price. whatever that is percentage-wise. So I guess you're going to have to deal with some limited sensitivity, but yeah, sometimes that's really noticeable. Okay, this is not quite right here. Yeah, this line. Wow. No, that's crazy. Yeah, smoking fiberglass. Ouch. Yeah, that'd be brutal. Glass, a small piece of glass anywhere is going to be, especially inhaling, is going to be brutal. Okay, so something weird is happening here. I don't know what this is. Maybe this can move over. Put that there. Yeah, I think that's something. Wow. Yeah, too much warm up. I gotta pay attention to that too, to not just keep drawing the same shapes over and over again, because it's fun to do. Oh, that cigar is way up here. So maybe inside, cigar inside a bottle. And a can is a witness. Although I think I need to not do this. Change the view a little bit. Yeah, something like that. All right. Oh, jeez. Oh, that's brutal. Yeah, that the comedian that used to be on Howard Stern, Artie Lang, he was on Mad TV too. Artie Lang had a story where he was they were using a glass salt cellar, like a salt shaker, from the room service cart to crush pills. I don't know what they were snorting, but they were crushing pills with the glass salt shaker, and doing it insanely high and maybe insanely in need of getting whatever that was crushed and snorted. And he went to the restroom, or he went to the toilet and came back, and the girl was crushing everything up, and she broke the bottom of the salt shaker and just kept crushing. And so it was crushed pills and glass, and he just did a line of it and just shot glass and whatever it was, probably heroin, probably Oxycontin or whatever, shot that straight up his nose and said it was just like a razor blade or whatever, just going straight. And then like then the next week he got punched in the face by a drug dealer and then totally flattened, like there's no structure left in his nose whatsoever, just totally destroyed. But just that story of snorting something and not having any idea that it's just got crushed glass all throughout is that's terrifying. But I guess if you're crushing pills with a with a prostitute in a hotel room, high risk of behavior is not. You're not risk of you're not. There's no risk aversion built into you. Yikes. Yeah, but he had the best stories from his 20s, because I think he got discovered and got on television pretty young, pretty fast. And so then he had more money than he knew what to do with, like $5,000 a week or whatever, like just to be on that show. It was like a crazy amount of money for a young kid, and then just spent it all on drugs and partying. But good stories. Those are great stories. Oh, you, Yum, and your F word. Let me see. Sorry, I wasn't. I got to get. Oh, that's right. I really hate this new YouTube. Oh, nice. Oh man, puking up hot Cheetos. I can't think of it. Well, maybe like yeah, Indian food and things could be the same. Oh man, puking up hot Cheetos. Yeah, that's there are some things that you don't want coming back up. Yeah, I'll pay. Sorry, I'll pay more attention to that. Eating a clay pot. Yikes. All right, now the stories are coming out. Oh, crazy. Mm. Oh, YouTube. Oh, oh, somebody else. Oh, yum, you got it twice. Oh, circle jerk. Oh, I love that. That's great. Yeah, the big old artist circle jerk. Yeah, I think that was the we're talking about poetry reading. Yeah, yeah. Oh, cool. Wow, yum. The YouTube is on your ass this this week. Yeah, sometimes it's so mysterious, like what they hold comments based on. They must just have some odd things because they're probably tracking a lot of what people say and how people try to talk around stuff. Because some of it seems really random. That's funny. Yeah, because why wouldn't it censor AF, as fuck, if it censors fuck anyhow? Because everybody knows what that means. It's like abbreviating. Yeah, it's funny. I wonder. Yeah, and I think I set the moderation, the auto moderation thing as light as possible. I don't think I turned it off completely, but it should be. Yeah. Nice. Strange addictions. Yeah, I've seen a few of what was the woman that was wanted to chew on baby diapers or something? Yeah, this horrible. That show is terrifying. Uh, all right. Yeah. Oh, sorry. Yeah, it's really crazy. But I guess they built in these tools because there's just not enough people. They let things get so out of scale that there's just no way to manually do anything. It's funny. No, I don't know what that is. So let's keep doing something else. Eating deodorant. Nice. Yeah, that show has so many strange behaviors that who knows. It's really scary to figure out where they came from, like what strange moment led to their led to the strange addiction. Isn't that like History Channel or something, or maybe it's like TLC? But yeah, some of those cable channels in America are so funny. They just like took these hard turns into weird reality television and stuff. It's like they're not even close to what the original concept was. It's just all ghost hunting or weird, weird reality television. All right. Ate a whole bed. Jeez. Uh, wow. Dang. Bed eating. Yeah, that has to be like a weird childhood thing, like being stuck forced to take naps or not falling asleep and just like pulling your bedding apart, and that becomes like a weird comfort. I think that's where a lot of that stuff comes from. It becomes these weird comfort mechanisms for people, and so they relate in some weird way to it. All right. What am I doing here? Yeah, I'm just trying. I am literally just trying the same thing over and over again. Let's try something else. Yeah, so last week I did like a plastic pumpkin and then pieces of a real pumpkin, so no more pumpkins this week. Just try some dishes or something. Whoa. Get that curve. Yeah, I'll fix that with distort. Yeah, so this is the other weird thing that I could never have imagined doing before when I was just doing markers, just being able to kind of squeeze lopsided drawings into a little bit more symmetry. Yeah, they must do that. I'm sure there are people that do that. Use tools like that on faces and things, you know, to fake symmetry on people's faces. That's so crazy. Yeah, I worked with a guy who was a really amazing photo retoucher, and this was like earlier Photoshop too. He was just using Photoshop. He wasn't using any of those like insane like AI Pro tools or anything. And yeah, he would just get these really amazing effects. And and then there was another guy who was really bad at it, and he showed us this photo he used for like his dating profiles or whatever, and it was so retouched it looked like a digital painting. Like it didn't, there was no, you would not think for 1 minute that it was a photograph because it was so retouched that it looked like a painting. It was ridiculous. And like, I don't know why. That would just be the creepiest thing, to have somebody post a you know, a super, yeah, super painted over image of themselves that has to make you wonder what they're hiding or what they actually look like. Sorry. Strange Addictions is taking over. Oh, the smell of gasoline. Yeah, yeah. Dang. Oh, I wonder how many seasons it, because I've only seen a few, and I think it was pretty early on, so I'm sure it's gotten even more insane. Strange Addictions. No, what am I doing? Oh, sorry. See if I can. No, it's too long. Yeah, I'm not gonna make this look right. Yeah, I like those curved. Sometimes those diner coffee mugs that have that curve in the middle. They're chunky and then they've got that kind of like hourglass shape. I haven't seen those in a while. Something like that. Those corners are too sharp. Uh, hmm. Yeah, no strange addictions. Yeah, I think that has to come from some like weird, childhood neglect or something. It has to be some weird, because I say things like, people obsessed with shoes, like people that have shoe fetishes or even foot fetishes. It's because like that, if you make any of those connections like early on as a kid, and that's all your are is on the floor, and that's like your perspective of people, that becomes something you connect to. Yeah, no strange addictions. Hmm. Yeah, that's got to be. I wonder which. When does it become a deal breaker? Like if the person is perfect except for their bed eating or their gasoline sniffing or whatever. Like when does it become a deal breaker? Like how much would you actually tolerate of someone's strange addiction if otherwise they were completely your perfect match? When would it become the deal breaker? Yeah. Mm, yeah, strange addictions. I don't know. Yeah, I can't think of anything that nothing. Yeah, nothing that's like weirdly comforting. And I think probably the strangest thing, like I was talking about, is just like spending too much time like drawing something repeatedly because it just makes your brain kind of shut off. So those sorts of things. Um, so that's basically the equivalent of like biting your fingernails or whatever. There's not. It's just a pretty straightforward comfort thing. Yeah, I'm trying to think if I knew anybody that had any strange stuff. Hmm. Wow. Ooh. Sorry. Let's see. Let's try something more shallow. Yeah, nobody in Japan would admit to them, but I'm sure there's some crazy, strange addictions here. Yeah, because sometimes you'll get stuff showing up on weird social media here. People, make birthday cakes for their favorite anime characters and things, and they do probably much worse that they don't photograph. But like, yeah, body pillows and stuff. Whoops. Oh, I should be watching my phone. Uh, oh, oh, cool. Okay. Nothing urgent. Sorry. I just need to pay attention because nobody's home right now. So. All right. Hmm. Amiibos. Amiibos are better than what is it? Funko Pops. Oh my god. I don't know how those ever became a thing. It's amazing too because the licenses. I wonder if there's some trick there that because the likeness is so terrible for Funko Pops that they can get like a discounted license or something. Like we're gonna do this weird stylized, like dead black-eyed version of, you know, your characters, but it's not gonna look that much like them. We just need permission for the name, I guess. It's not really a likeness. That'd be funny if there was some like legal shenanigans that explained why those things look the way they do. All right. Oh no! Also, don't know. You mean like the those dolls that are like articulated for posing, like for like miniature artist model kind of dolls. Nice. Oh no. Nice. Hmm. All right. Yeah, none of this is. Hmm. Hmm. Oh, that's cool. Yeah, glass. Yeah, glass eye dolls definitely can be disturbing because they're so. They have like a wetness or something that you're not expecting. The eyes, a little extra real. All right. Okay. Well, doing pet dishes now. Hmm. Yeah, this is all looking pretty weird and lumpy. What else? Oh wow, that sounds cool. Hmm. Yeah, what's going on? Something else here. How about a coffee pot? Maybe that would help. There it is. Let's try one of those diner coffee pots. Oh, actually, yeah, I need that lip. something in that. I'm going to have to, I think, rebalance this. And actually, I think scale-wise it's going to be too big. Yeah, shorter and squatter, maybe. Oh, same layer. Wonderful. Yeah, that looks more like a picture. Okay. Try something a little more contained. I think actually, yeah, that comes out. It's more like that. Those little, I'm thinking of those glass bun carafes that just sit and bake your coffee. Something like that. Yeah, kind of wavy, both of them. Let's see if I can get a better shape. The roundness is okay. Oh yeah, antique phones. Yeah, definitely, like, especially like the old, like 40s, like Bakelite phones and stuff. They're so beautiful, but yeah, super expensive. Or if you're talking about the, not even the ones with the dial, but just the earpiece and the whatever mouthpiece. I don't know what you call it, but the ones you hold in the middle like this. Yeah, I can't even imagine. All right, so proportionally it would be a little bit bigger. Oof, yeah, pretty lumpy, but oh well. I think it works. All right, some refilled joke or something. Yeah, something's going on. The line is very lumpy looking. Weird. Hmm. Yeah, I bet the internet really ruined the antique business. I mean, probably made it more profitable for some people, but like used everything now, books and video games and whatever. The prices are all jacked up because you can check the kind of market price now so easily for anything that there's no fines. There's no amazing fines anymore for hunting for something. Yeah, something is really weirdly lumpy about these lines. What's going on? Oh well, with some color it should, see if I can sharpen it up with some rendering. Alright. Okay, so I think we've got a couple of cartoons. Oh, gramophone. Oh, nice. Yeah. Yeah, right. Yeah, you can play the old 78s on, or the old though those are Bakelite too. I think the old discs for gramophones. Yeah, there was a library when I was a kid. There was a library that had a big collection of those, and you could go into a room and wind the gramophone up and listen. Yeah, because the I forget what the needles are made out of. Yeah. That is some seriously old technology, but yeah, an old gramophone would be amazing. All right. Okay. Well, let's take a quick look at comments while we're doing this. Yeah, so you get to see what happened to me last week and the Halloween mood that was going on. There we go. Okay, so this was October 8th. So last week, so pumpkin guts. So they were told there would be candy at some point. So just the guts and seeds and the little top. Yeah, these came out really late too, so I'm glad people actually saw them. Because sometimes when I get off schedule for whatever reason, they just go unseen. But they must actually go there. But there was also pumpkin, but there was only pumpkin carnage involving a knife. Nice. I've fallen for that ruse myself. All right. Yeah, nice. Halloween. And October 6th, there we go. Pumpkin beer. Nice. It was unclear if pumpkin beer could be considered a treat. I think I did a previous Halloween like treat thing before. That's funny. Yeah, so this one this one must have gotten lost. No comments and only one like, but yeah, there's that pumpkin I was talking about. Yeah, so wonderful Halloween recovery week. Oh, there's another. Here's another pumpkin beer. That's funny. I wonder if it did that. And yeah. I wonder if it did that automatically. Because I just did random. I wonder if there's some AI on that random. Because there's the other pumpkin beer. Dark rituals most likely created and sometimes required pumpkin beer. Nice. Wow, yeah. I got more Halloween than I knew of. This better not be another pumpkin beer. There we go. Mint chocolate chip dismissed popsicles as nothing more than juice and sticks. I like that joke. I don't like that drawing, though. After being thrown away, litter never regained its trust. Oh, yeah, there's an early days slip by. He was sick of being full of crackers until he wasn't anymore. Just crackers me up. 11 years ago comment. Nice. I'm confused. Of course. The job of diminishing fine lines is becoming a team effort. Cosmetic jokes. There's no I in cream. But there's an I in ice cream. Which one is the cement? All right, one more. Yeah, giving up beer on Halloween. Yeah. Well, you don't know how many times, especially when I lived in Los Angeles, like you've got a window. It's like 7 to 9 or 7 to 10. I forget like what the hours were of trick-or-treating. And always at the end of that, you get the groups of high school kids that are like, got any beer? They just kind of roll up and ring the doorbell, and they ask for beer. That happened a lot in the Valley when I was in LA. It's like, and it always happened like they were just after the time where all the little kids are gone, and the high school kids start rolling around trying to find somebody who will give them beer or weed, I'm sure. They were suspicious that one of them still contained pens. All right. And one more. Yeah, see, there's marker on paper, definitely. Yeah, you can see like where the pen sits too long and stuff. Yeah. Very different. In this instant, love did not bloom from the sorting error. All right. Wow. 2005, 2006. Look at these minimalist cartoons. The point of displaying extremely dead flowers eluded the vase. Oh, yeah. That's another one. It just didn't hit. Oh, yeah. The red eyes on the beer. I knew I did another pumpkin beer. I guess it was that one. It's so funny that the random button found that. But, yeah, 2008 pumpkin beer. Oh, I don't need to do this on stream. Yeah, it's funny. Wow, so the current total. Wow, yeah, I've hit 2,000. I didn't even know that. Because if it's not counting. Yeah, I hit 2,000 a few months ago. Because I did a book when I hit 1,000 cartoons. I did a book and I made it to 2,000. Well, thank you very much. The stream made that possible, and the stream made it so I missed that as well. It's amazing. All right, let me see. Yeah, so yeah, I did a lot more Halloween last year. Smashing Pumpkins had been replaced simply by shaming them. Ah, there it is. The dark ritual of the beer. Yeah, so I guess I did some. Oh, yeah, that's right. There was nothing very funny about rubber masks aside from their smell. The funny smell of rubber masks. Yeah, oh, yeah, that's right. Because I think somebody said, "Is that supposed to be Trump?" My weird tanned blonde face. Yeah, wow. I got to do another Halloween collection for this year. Dang. Pumpkin carving had a very experimental tone. Wow, yeah. Look at that. So that's, yeah, beginning of. Wow. All right. So I got to go back and do some collections. Yeah. Yeah, I think so. I think that was. I didn't intend, like when I drew it, I didn't intend it, but when I was coloring it, I thought the colors like were bright. I like the glow in the dark skull. Yeah, it wasn't my intention, but I guess the coloring like pushes it that way. Ooh, entire concept of candy corn had become very confusing. Oh, that's right. And after, yeah, I've done a lot of the after Halloween sale jokes. Wow, pumpkin latte, and then all right. Well, I should go through and do a Halloween collection. So I did a Christmas one, but I didn't never do Halloween. I think my jokes are probably better for Halloween. Yeah, I really wish. I really wish it was a bigger holiday here. That's too bad. They do the decorations, but they don't do the trick or treating. And like some bars and stuff will do like a Halloween party. So it's more adult holiday. What actually though, it's becoming popular for like university age kids. And there's that Shibuya, or there's some big street like crosswalk that gets blocked off by kids in costumes, and it's all zombies mostly. Because I think I was talking before, that's the weird thing about the Halloween costume aesthetic here is they have to like they go zombie or kind of cheap joke costumes because cosplay is such a serious thing here that they take it, yeah, much more seriously. Wow. Yeah, I'm curious. Let's just take a peek. I bet I could do a pretty big Halloween book if I. Yeah, actually, this year was no Halloween jokes, but I think I've done a few. Let's go a little bit later. Yeah, this is when I was at twice a week. Sunscreen? No. No. Sorry, just checking. Makes it a lot easier than going through my actual like files. I can search by date. Tacos. Yeah, it's funny. Some years I get stuck in Halloween mode, and some. Oh, look at that! How meta is that? Um, and some years I don't. No. Toaster oven. Sorry. You guys can go through the archive at your leisure. I'm sorry. I'm not even reading these. I'm just flipping through them. I'm just curious how much Halloween stuff I did per year. Yeah. But I'll go through the files themselves and just grab a bunch and put them together and see if I can do a little booklet. That'd be fun. Yeah, yeah, right. When the big bags of candy. Okay, five. No, no. You're already in zombie form. Uh, yeah, they have the worst. I should take a photo of that. Some of the stores have Halloween costume sections. And always, even in the like the dollar stores and stuff, they have the party section. And sometimes there's real, well, I guess there is sometimes in the US too, but there's really racist, like weird stuff, like foreigner noses. Like you can get a big nose that's like the foreign guy nose. It's so cruel. But there's a yeah, like big ears and big noses is a to look like a foreigner. So there's some weird racist stuff. But yeah, the Halloween costume section is always very odd. It's an odd collection of stuff. I should go to a couple of shops and take some photos so you guys can see like how bizarre the kind of cheap costume, because they don't have like Halloween stores here. They don't have like those cool pop-up shops that are all the rubber masks and everything. So it's just some weird dollar store stuff and some weird some of the weird, I don't know what they would be called, but some stores have like they'll just do a temporary little section, and it's really weird choices of stuff. Anyhow, Halloween nostalgia. Yes, Yom is screaming in her heart for Halloween. All right, back to the drawing. Yeah, it's too bad. That's some fun stuff. Yeah, I think the trick or treat thing, I think would be sad here, just kind of like lame, in the same way that they kind of ruin yeah, certain things get kind of like weirdly ruined. So I think Japan would, if they ever adopted trick-or-treating, it would be that like shopping mall trick-or-treating where you just went around to a bunch of stores and they mostly just gave you coupons. It would be that kind of like depressing trick-or-treating. I just don't have the faith in Japan, because sometimes with the kids stuff they really cheap out. They really let you down. All right, maybe green, the glass. All right, and then turn this back on. Oh, weird. I'll just leave that for now. Oh, that's weird. There's something on that layer. Oh, the that's right. Okay. All right, so I'll just do the bottle white so it has a base color. All right. Nice. Oh right, yes, that's right. You got to get to bed for the job. Yeah, so take it easy, K5. Have a good night, and congrats again on getting some work, especially in this situation. That's very cool. So yeah, hope to see you again, and great to know you're doing good. And I'm still glad you're using your data on me. I appreciate it. So yeah, take care, K5. Hope to see you again soon. Alright. Yeah, the colors are going to be combined. Lighter color for the actual lighter. Yeah, I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to make this work color-wise. I guess we'll see. Maybe. Nice. Yeah, that's right. The hopefully soon the lockdown aesthetic will be totally gone and people will have normal schedules and happy employment and all that good stuff. Alright, what is this a can of? I guess something... Oh, the bottle's going to be green though. Maybe red. SpaghettiOs or something. Yeah, that works. Ah. Nice. Yeah, it's good to see K5 on again. I was getting worried. Like he came by another time, but I was worried that with lockdown stuff and everything, it gets pretty depressing. And whoa, I was hoping he was doing okay. He was such a big part of me getting going with the stream, because as soon as he came over, as soon as Hyphonic sent a bunch of people over and he found the stream, he was so supportive in doing the like the snack box thing, and he was really like, you should do this, you should do this, and that was really cool. He had a lot of enthusiasm, and I would have been, you know, just naturally much more cautious, but he was so cool, and you know, you should really do this kind of attitude, and that made it really fun to put that together. Good guy. Oh, I don't want to do that. Yeah, I don't want to do a label over that bottom. That'll get strange. Oh, thank you, thank you. Yeah, I'm already trying to ruin this not looking like a Zippo. Yes, that's right. Oh, I don't want to look, but yeah, I think you're right. Let me see if I can do something that'll kind of... That's right, because the wheel hits against the little flint part. Yeah, and sometimes you can actually see the wick in that little spot. Ugh, what color? I don't know if I'm going to be able to get this to read. Maybe a little bit lighter. I'm going to have to cheat. Yeah, Japan is like weirdly obsessed with Zippo lighters for some reason. Oh, wait, and I've got the wheel on the wrong side. That's right. I designed the unusable Zippo. The wheel is on this side. The wheel goes over here because your thumb goes here. And if it was back here, yeah. So this is actually the hinge, you know, the hinge for the... Oh, Jesus. Let's try this again. Yeah, this is actually just the hinge for the, or that, you know, that little stop. Yeah, you're right. Thank you, Yum. I totally missed that. It's so funny when just randomly screw something up like that. And it didn't even occur to me. It's like, okay, I know there's a little wheel on there. So I think I'll need to draw over this a little bit so it makes a little more sense. And the wheel needs to go on that side. Yeah, that little... God. All right, we'll try. We'll do something like this. And then I'm going to just have to fake it on the other side here. All right. And then put the darker color over the top. Yeah, this is going to be a bitch to shade to because of how screwed up this is. All right. So there's a little wheel here. Of course, it's on the side where your thumb would actually be. Amazing. Right. Yeah, that was the wheel. I'm not doing well. I'm still in recovery. I'm still recovering. That's what I'm gonna claim. Yeah, there we go. There's the wheel. And so yeah, the hinge. We'll just kind of fake the hinge here. Oh yeah, because that's right. Because the hinge is actually, it does this as well. See, now I'm totally cheating. This isn't even. This is totally illegitimate. All right. We'll do the little hinge thing. Okay. Oh, there it's a little more technically accurate. Uh, what the heck? And this is always a lot taller than that. God damn. See, that's why I don't use photo reference, because then I actually draw it well. And it's more fun when it's all messed up. But I think I would have gotten some weird comments about what is that? The hell is that supposed to be? Come on, what's going on here? Oh, there it is. Okay, it's all on this layer. All right, let's do a little bit of this. Okay, that makes a little bit more sense. Because this is so much taller, and then I can actually vent it a little bit more. There we go. No, I just like the aesthetic that I liked is weird, just kind of nostalgia, just trying to remember what something looked like from memory. So a lot of the, especially early cartoons, had really odd looking, nostalgic things that didn't have quite the it's just like a weird memory version of something, so it's not very accurate, but it still evokes, like, it gets across what I was trying to draw. And so I did that a lot. I tried to refrain, because I think sometimes there was one I did, like 2 beer cans, and I looked at the labels on like Google Images for the beer and just kind of drew them relatively accurately, and somebody made a weird comment. It's like, is this sponsored by Anheuser-Busch? Like, why is these so accurate? So I think the suggestion of things and kind of like a incorrect nostalgia works well, especially with the aesthetic of this cartoon. So that's what I mean by cheating, is that I kind of set up some rules for myself, like working on this cartoon, like stuff that I want to keep consistent. And so not having like crazy accurate objects is part of the fun, or part of the thing that I like about this cartoon, is they're just a weird and probably incorrect memory of these things, but still, it still works. It still kind of gets across. Let's see. Maybe the first one was. Let me see. No, that's pretty rough. It didn't make a lot of sense. That works. Memory, reality. I love that the flint wheel is on the inside of the hinge. Perfect. Actually, that might technically work. If you just connected the flint, the flint and the wheel, the hinged wheel. Yeah, so Zippos are like, there's so many, because there's still so many smokers, and I think that's probably the best. Those are the nicest lighters still, most dependable, and least, not running out all the time, like disposables are. And I'll set your pocket on fire sometimes, like cheap disposables. All right, I didn't even check to see. I don't think the scale's great. It's a pretty big Zippo, but that works. Thanks. Yeah. No, it's fun. It's fun to sometimes check and see how wrong I am. That makes it extra funny. But yeah, that's a weird So I just kind of made a couple of choices, working on the cartoon to give yourself kind of limits. And so especially when I was doing the marker, just doing marker drawings that I had to just go with whatever line I could get on the paper. I did a lot of very mysterious looking. There we go. Mysterious looking objects, but there was something interesting about that to me. Just the inaccuracy of memory, or the kind of flaws of your memory. So that's why I think I was talking about like a lot of stuff has like weird 70s aesthetics, because a lot of my like earliest memories are just the kind of junk the junk dishes and stuff we had when I was growing up as a kid. That stuff has a very funny feeling because it's so ugly, but has a there's some comfort to it, but it is like aesthetically so nasty. And even like like public school and stuff, all the brown and orange plastic, that's crazy. I think it's more of a 60s thing, but I went to some schools, some very poorly funded schools. I'm guessing. Oh yeah, what kind of, just do some details. Yeah, it's fun. Oh yeah. No, that would be good. Yeah, I should definitely do that. I think my phone would work well enough for that. And do some. Like I was saying, I have to be careful. Some shops and places are real. Like when I was looking for the tool set for Joe, a lot of the shops are like no photography, no photography. So you have to be careful. I mean, you can like play dumb. There's not a lot of tourists here right now, so I would kind of be giving away that I wasn't a tourist. But you can kind of play dumb and walk into places with cameras. But yeah, no, that would be fun. I should walk around here and show you some places. No, no. I moved here later in life. Yeah, so I was didn't study the language in school or anything, or uh, just came here as once. So when I got remarried, and we were thinking about having kids, it didn't seem, and just the stuff that I'd been through with my first kid, like growing up in Los Angeles, I figured it would probably be a better situation to be in Japan, and especially because my wife's family is all based in the same city. Everyone's nearby, and much different than my situation in the U.S., where people are just scattered all over the country. So it's a real pain. Like holidays and stuff become difficult. You have to kind of choose who you're going to visit. You can't, people don't all get together so easily. In my family, in my situation, and that became the thinking, and I just moved here, destroyed my career completely, and moved here. Because I think I talked about like trying to do stuff. I tried to do things long distance very early on, and that did not go well because I wasn't living here because I was trying to maintain the same kind of schedule with the companies that I was working with that I would have if I lived in California. So I was had 3 a.m. Conference calls and things. So I was sleeping all day and working all night, and that kind of creeped out my in-laws a bit. Oh. So I kind of had to choose to be here. That was important to choose to live here and not just be some kind of bizarre have the worst commute or the worst telecommute ever. There we go. I don't know what's happening. Oh, sure. Yeah, no, I should do that. I can run around, especially some of uh, the smaller arcade town, smaller arcades in the town, the little kind of covered shopping streets and stuff. There's some really great stuff. I mean, I lost my eye for it because it's so commonplace now that I lost my eye for what's interesting and what feels so exotic or so different about some of the places. But and it's funny because I love to watch old film footage of Japan. So Wim Wenders, the German director, did a little documentary about a Japanese director that he idolized. He came to Japan and tried to find his Japan, tried to find the aesthetic that that director was talking about. And it's so amazing how many things haven't changed here. Like the school uniforms and the types of signs and the way trains run and everything is so exactly the same as it was 50 years ago. So it really has a crazy timelessness, but at the same time, there's things that are uniquely Japanese and very different. But that I love old footage of Japan, old film footage, because it's so amazing how much changes but stays exact. Things stay exactly the same. It's a very funny aesthetic here, but it's the same way as the thinking. I mean, it's very, very old-fashioned thinking in a lot of ways, but they're also being confronted with incredibly modern choices as far as technology and things, how they do business. They try to stay traditional and be constantly dealing with the modern, and with a huge aged population. I cannot even see on that gray. That's so crazy. My cursor just is gone. But yeah, no, I should definitely do that. That would be fun for this channel. Because I forget how different things are. Yeah, I hope it's I think for health-wise and stress-wise and everything, I think it was a much better choice. And my younger daughter has so much of a chance to have a nice, long, happy childhood here that I just don't think exists anymore in the U.S. I mean, you have to live in the middle of nowhere to. Oh, and even then, you can't stay away from the influences, like being making adult decisions and and totally not feeling like a kid at 12 years old is crazy. Yeah. So here you don't feel very adult until you're in university. You can still be pretty childish in high school, and I like that. I like that a lot. I think that's a nice part of the culture here. Oh, that's right, this wonky coffee pot. Yeah, right. Yeah, I think you can't go back. Like there's no, once things have gone, you couldn't enforce, be naive. You can't do that to kids anymore. They make their own choices about how they're going to socialize and all that kind of good stuff. How long they want to hang out on the streets. When they're in junior high school. It's a hard thing to kind of culturally enforce, and as soon as some stuff moves a certain way, it's a lot of orange, maybe more brown. Let's see. Oh yeah, I forgot, these monitors are not calibrated, so they're totally different colors, so that helps. But it's a very different thinking, but at the same time, I mean, this is an incredibly male dominated, misogynistic, by Western standards, culture. So women have an insanely unfair advantage in most situations, involving their career or, personal choices. And that's why divorce isn't common here, because it's, there's no point. Like it's the goal, or it's been made the goal for women to get married. And I still remember trying to explain still trying to explain feminism to a high school juniors, I think. Yeah, so a class of high school juniors in Japan. It was an all-girls high school, and the high school juniors trying to explain the concept of feminism. And so many girls, because it was a private school, so a little bit wealthier families, and the girls were just like, why would I want to do anything but what my family wants me to do? Because that guarantees safety, security, and happiness, in my family, for my family. So the sense of like duty uh, to your family and kind of doing what you're expected to do is such an overriding thing here, that people are just like, wait, what? So why do I want equal pay? Why do I want? I just want to have kids. Yeah, it was very funny. I was so surprised by their reaction. Hey, Mia. Mia? Uh, Nice to see you. Yes, you did. That's right. Yeah, and that became I made that my Streamlabs notification. Thank you so much. Yeah, that's yeah, and it's not in the description text anymore. But if you go into the older some of the older streams, in the description text is still the link, the cloud link to that file. But thank you so much for that. That was very fun. Yeah, I think Plexus said it shows up. It shows up in on Discord or in the stream, in the stream chat for Hyphonics occasionally. So that's good. Excellent contribution. uh, yeah, so it's an interesting balance, and I think women have you don't have the choice that you do. It's weird. You do and you don't. It's because basically from 20 to 30 in Japan, and this is I'm doing a lot of generalizing, but from 20 to 30 in Japan as a young woman, you can do whatever you want. Like, your family will accept any crazy, I want to go live in Spain for a year, I want to, study this, I want to do this, I want to, anything you want. But as soon as you get to the end of your 20s, like, okay, now it's time to get serious, and now we want you married, and as soon as you get married, you start having kids here. So there's a weird freedom that comes with that, and then there's then you're kind of like, you've got 30 years of serving, your family, having kids, and raising making grandkids and having a family. So it's very odd. It's hard to understand, I think, from the outside. It's hard to understand that there is still feminism here, but it's not. It just has a different effect. I don't know. It's an odd thing that I was never. That was the funniest thing to me. Trying to explain to young women, why would you possibly care about any sort of equality when you have everything you ever needed? And probably that's the trick, just make people fat and happy and safe. If you feel safe, you know why do you want more? And that's the big problem is, you don't feel safe in the West, and maybe in America as a woman you don't feel so safe, and so that changes your perspective. But here, so it's very funny. There's some beautiful cultural things and some not so not so good stuff, and weird combinations of things. Always. Yeah. Oh, thanks. Yeah, I saved the bad drawing. I always hope that will happen. The drawing will. Yeah, and that's a funny thing to do. Like with just with the shadows and the flat colors and stuff, you can kind of get volume and kind of things going on. I'm afraid it's a little too dark though for the eyes to show up. let's see. Oh, I'm stuck again. There we go. Let's see, I might have to go here and maybe, yeah, maybe get rid of that or just make that a darker brown. Or maybe light. Yeah, that works. So fill this in, and then the eyes won't be completely gone. Or not the right color. That'll make them stand out. Yeah, I don't know. I don't want to. Oh, it's on a different layer, isn't it? I can make it a little bit lighter. Yeah, try that. Now it's incredibly weak coffee. Cafe Americano. All right, yeah, that works. Ah, nice. Yeah, it's really funny. Yeah, right. It does look like a unibrow now. The coffee unibrow. Yeah, does it? Let's see. Yeah, it is very unibrow, and I think that the lighter color works. All right. So something refills, right? Or bottomless cup. Okay. Good. All right, well, let's do a quick... I brought something pretty funny. Oh, I actually have two things. Let's see how the camera is working. Okay, where are we here? Yeah, so my green screen isn't great. Oh, it's not as bad as I thought. It was really gritty before, but it looks a little bit better now. Oops, wait. Let's see. All right. Sorry about that. So let's see here. Oh, okay. That's right. Convenience store. So I think I showed those little chocolate chip cookies that they have, the Countryman chocolate chip cookies. So I found a really bizarre version of them that I hadn't seen before, and I don't know what kind of weird aesthetic this is. So this is you can see the little Countryman thing. But usually the logo is very country colored and very, there's like, see the cute little farmhouse and stuff. It always looks like a basket and, tablecloth and stuff. But these are really weird. So so basically the meaning, so Chaco Mamine is like association, or I'm trying to think of a good translation. So the association or collaboration, not collaboration, yeah, of chocolate with the cookies. So it's the regular chocolate cookie and chocolate are associating together, and so that's why you see like the bath, like he's in a Japanese bath. So it's a cookie dipped in chocolate. So yeah, so twice the chocolate because it's a chocolate cookie covered in chocolate. This is going to be insane, right? But it's weird that they made it a character. They made it like this weird, this weird character sitting in that. Yeah, it is. It's almost like horror. It's almost like a horror movie. Yeah. So there's the same thing on the front. I can't see it. Yeah, so the same little guy on the front. So the Chocolate Association cookie. And here's the whoops. The process that they're going through. So it shows you them climbing the steps into the little chocolate vault, and then into the packaging. I don't know Oh, these are really tiny though. These cookies keep getting smaller and smaller. I think when I first came here, they were like this big, and now you're gonna see. Yeah, they just keep making them small. Oh, and it's totally chocolate covered. Wow. Maybe they use smaller ones for the chocolate covering. So it's a tiny chocolate chip cookie covered in chocolate, and it's gonna be a lot of chocolate. Mm. Oh wow. Yeah, it's a little different. It's not actually their cookie. It is, but it's a real dense version. Wow, it's really good. Really chocolatey. That's a weird thing in Japan. Sometimes they'll do really light, really sweet chocolate that doesn't even really taste like chocolate, kind of like kids' version. Almost like, how Tootsie Rolls kind of don't taste like chocolate. There's a lot of weird chocolate like that here. But this is pretty good. So you can see there's little, no you can't, but there's little chocolate chips in there. There's a really dense little chocolate chip cookie covered in chocolate. Up to his nose in the bath of chocolate. Yeah, the creepy art here is so funny. There's like a aesthetic that's hard to understand or hard to see as a foreigner of ugly cute. So like creepy cute and ugly cute are kind of aesthetics here, and they're really hard to tap into if you're not a Japanese like illustrator or don't have that culture of images, like you didn't grow up in the culture. It's really hard to see like why maybe the bigger bag would be better. It's really hard to see like why that would be funny or charming, that creepy little thing sitting in the chocolate. Yeah, going. Yeah, so I don't that aesthetic always will, I think will always escape me, because it's like a subverting. I'm eating another one of these because they're that good. It's kind of a subverting of the super kawaii thing. You're kind of going against that aesthetic that's just the default for anime and everything everywhere. So it's weird, like kind of ugly subversion of that, and that's a real popular aesthetic, but it's really hard to I couldn't draw that. I don't think there's any way I could Wow, really chocolatey. Hey Kegs, how's it going? Arare crackers. I'm trying to think. I probably had them. I don't recognize the name. I probably recognize the package. But we've had a lot of the kind of okake and kind of senbei kind of stuff they have here. So a lot of most of the crackers here are rice crackers. So they have some corn snacks, but they really like rice crackers. So most of that stuff is all rice based because it's lighter. It may be cheap. There's a lot more people that have wheat allergies and things here. So a lot of stuff is rice based. Yeah, but that aesthetic is really funny, and it's charming, and so the Japanese word cute, the kawaii that you hear all the time, has really complicated meaning, because there's like if you see a kitten or a puppy, that automatic response of that's cute is they're literally meaning it's baby cute, and it looks like cute and defenseless and charming in that cute way. But then like an old homeless man, like with weird patches of hair missing, like just walking around muttering to himself, that also will elicit kawaii. Not and so kind of like he's below me, so that's sweet that he's not. He's kind of, you're like looking down. You're kind of, it's like a weird condescending. It's hard to explain, but there's like a weird condescension to that. Like he's kind of broken and useless. That's cute. And then the same way that things can be creepy and cute, and also ugly and cute. Like ugly cats and dogs are really popular on like Japanese Instagram, because they're so ugly that they're cute, or they're so strange looking, that they're cute. So that's a very it's a hard to understand aesthetic for foreigners. But I think those goods and things are getting out there in the world, and people are seeing more and more of that. So maybe eventually there'll be a kind of an understanding of that, because you'll have the same kind of visual language being exposed to all that stuff. So, like Sanrio, the company that does the Hello Kitty, the Hello Kitty characters, they have the San X brand, and there may be another one, but that's kind of like an anti-cute, or kind of going against the cute idea or aesthetic. So sometimes they have that creepy kind of minimalist art there. Oh yeah, and they sound very similar. Yeah, the kawaii, yeah, kawaii and kawaii, yeah, sound very similar. So that they have yeah, and that is funny. Because my terrible accent sometimes, I'll say something and it'll sound like they're wrong, because you have to hit that second kind of e, kawaii, and kawaii is scary. So you have, yeah, little kids will say that all the time, kawaii, and then kawaii. Yeah, those are very similar sounds, and sometimes, yeah, I don't differentiate enough, because an A and an O, a short A and an O sound almost the same to my English ear. But yeah, so that's very funny. So yeah, so strangely delicious, but weird. I don't know why they had to make him a character, why they couldn't just be chocolate covered, but yeah, maybe that made people buy them more, because it had a weird aesthetic that goes against, because the previous one, it's literally like a, the black and white, or the white and red plaid tablecloth, and little country style, and the little cookies like laid out on a plate on the front of that bag, and now it's this weird creature looking at you from the chocolate bath. All right. Norimaki. Yeah. Those are good. The norimaki arare crackers are, yeah, good. There's a lot. Yeah, there's a lot of styles of, basically like bar snacks, or like, when you have to give somebody. So when you meet somebody, or they come to your business or your house or something, you're supposed to give them refreshments. So it always like tea, depending on the season, tea and crackers. And so yeah, a lot of the osenbei and okake crackers are popular. Okaki crackers are popular for that sort of thing. So you're always going to have them around, and that's why everything is individually packaged here. Like you saw with those cookies, it's a bag of 12 cookies or whatever, but each one is in a little package, so that you can give them individually to people. So that's a funny thing, because Japan is always the recycle and kind of ecologically thoughtful country, but they got so much plastic because everything is wrapped separately, and it's good for not spreading disease and things, but it does create a ton of waste. All right. Yeah, right. No, that's true. I think you've got it, Yummy. I kind of like, yeah. Ew, cute. All right, so let's write a couple of cartoons and wrap this up. All right. There we go. Oops. All right, try to resist drawing anymore and just move the keyboard so I can actually type. Yeah, I should do that. I should, instead of things that I are disgusted by, or I should get some more like traditional, kind of like the norimaki crackers and things, for you to see that huge variety of that kind of stuff. Those would be more fun, and talk about the ingredients and how they're made. That's a little bit more cultural than just trendy weird stuff from the convenience store. So let me know what's more interesting, because it's just whatever kind of catches my eye. But there's a huge section of kind of beer snacks, bar snacks and stuff. All right, so bottomless. So the bottomless cup. Was more a Description. This is too wordy. So the need for attention as opposed to refills, or free felt more like a So free refills, or a cry for attention. Well, that's a good idea. Yeah, twice as many snacks is not bad. Yeah, that's good. Yeah, do some more traditional snacks and then some kind of gimmicky thing would be fun. Yeah, yeah. That's a good idea, Yum. I'll keep that in mind. Yeah, next time I'm looking, I'll try to do both because it's more fun to maybe talk about the history, culture, Japanese food stuff. Like Kegs was talking about. Those are more traditional snacks and give you a better idea of like what you're going to run into here. Because a lot of the trendy stuff that I bring, it's funny to me, but at the same time, it disappears so fast. Because it's very limited, limited edition or limited time thing. So you'll never see it yourself. So more traditional stuff would give you more of a vocabulary if you had to go to a Japanese grocery store or something. All right, something about refills and attention. Let's see. Yeah, so bottomless or free refill. That's what I was thinking. Yeah, what's a funny without being too or goes beyond needy. Yeah, bottomless cups of coffee went far beyond needy. Something about felt insanely needy. Went far beyond. Bottomless cups of coffee. Oh yeah, that would yeah, that would be fun. Yeah, and the drinks too. Yeah, like the funny mixed drinks that are popular here would be interesting. Yeah, I should do that. Should do that sometime because there's little tiny drinking places. Like go with a friend and just have a conversation and make the camera like the third person at the table. So sit and talk about things with somebody here. So I'm not sitting and talking to myself. That'd be extra creepy. But though that'd be fun. You could have a Japanese drink with me. Bottomless cups of coffee. Yeah. So bottomless in some other way. Yeah, free refills. Yes. Frequent trips to the restroom. Refills. Yeah, or bottomless as incredibly limited. Something. Bottomless cups of coffee were never satisfied. Um, hmm. Let's see. So far beyond needy. So needy, or what's that? Yeah, kind of like a void, like something that seemed to be filling some emotional void. We're talking about strange addictions too. Seem to have a strange addiction to refills. A strange addiction to refills. Seemed strangely... that's not spelled right. Bottomless cups of coffee seemed strangely addicted to refills. I don't know. Free refills. Okay. Well, we'll switch. Oh, that's right, this one. All right. And why is there a can of whatever that is? What, tomato sauce? Something ashtray. Oh yeah, maybe I should put some more. A few specks of actual. See, I'm procrastinating again here. Some actual ash in the bottom of the. Oh, but I gotta be careful. Yeah, it doesn't like confuse the eyes. Let's try this. Yeah, it looks a little dirtier. All right. Sorry about the cough. Yeah. The one thing they needed the in search of an ashtray. In desperate need of an ashtray. Spent most of the night in desperate ashtray. Okay. Yeah. They spent most of the night in desperate need of an ashtray. Is that a complete sentence? Yeah. All right. They'd. Oh. Yes, yes. It is SpaghettiOs, isn't it? Yeah, I should do half white though, maybe because I think it's like a two-tone. Yes. Yeah, so should I reference the cigar more, or punished or rewarded? Yeah, they're all looking kind of off screen, so I'm assuming they're looking for something. Yeah, it's kind of plain, but I think it works okay. So most of the night in desperate need for an ashtray, and bottomless cups of coffee seems strangely addicted to refills. Was there a better word? I like the addicted to refills. Oh, thank you. Thanks, Kegs. Yeah, I had some help. Yum helped me out with the the anatomy of the Zippo. I had it things a little reversed. Yeah, thanks so much. Yeah, I try to make stuff simple, but then with the kind of shading and stuff, give it a little bit more life. All right. Bottomless cups of coffee. Strangely. Yeah, I like that. I like that so much because it connects to the chat. There was a strange addiction discussion, and I'll remember that every time I read that cartoon. Uh, Cups of coffee seem strangely addicted to refills. Yeah, and neither of that. That's not making either of them very sad. Yeah, I think that works. That works on both sides. And they spent most of the night in desperate need of an ashtray. Good, good. Nice. Yeah, I think not. I think that helps it not look so confusing. Yeah, the previous version. Oh, let me see if I can give you a cheat of the previous version. Here was, where is that layer? Yeah. So Yum helped me out with the. So here was my first drawing. Boom. It's like I put the wheel on the inside of the hinge, and it didn't make a lot of physical sense. And then bang! Look at that. A little Google image, and I was all good to go. All right. Yeah, I think I'll stay with both of these. They're not killers, but I think they make sense. And I like the strange addiction. All right. Seems strangely addicted. Yes. All right. Well, I think that's going to do it. All right. Well, thanks so much for being here for the stream. The conversation and input is always very fun. And yeah, I'll try to do a, especially as the weather's getting nice too. It's not hot and miserable. It's cooling down a lot. So yeah, I'll think about the IRL stream and kind of give you guys some yeah, feel for yeah, getting a drink in Japan or just hanging out. There's a couple of places I can think of. Yeah, that might be fun for you to see. But yeah, that sounds good. Yeah, that's what I'm afraid of, losing subscribers to the realism. Nice. Yeah, always. Yeah, yeah. Thanks, Yum. Yeah, I always enjoy your input's really fun, and it's good to, yeah, help me pay attention to the madness. But yeah, so I will figure something out. So if you're watching for the first time, this cartoon, I do 2 cartoons every week, and they show up on gocomics.com/domestic abuse. And the archive of over 2,000. We found that out today. I found out over 2,000 cartoons are up there now. And you can see the whole archive there. The website will give you notifications and links to the books and things. So I have a collection of these cartoons on Amazon of the first 1,000. And I guess I should do another one because I've got another 1,000 cartoons. So book 2 coming soonish, maybe. And Patreon, if you want to support the cartoon, patreon.com/abusecartoons, and you can get signed books and original art of the early cartoons there, and follow on Twitter at Abuse Cartoons. So basically anywhere Abuse Cartoons, and this happens on both Twitch and YouTube, and a notification on Facebook. There's a page on Facebook as well. So that's everything and all where this is. And yeah, thank you so much for. Yeah, take care, Kegs. Yeah, take it easy. Be safe. I hope everyone is doing well. And I will be back next week. And yeah, I'll stay in good shape so I won't, no more problems. I think everything is under control. So be back next week, this same time. And thank you so much for watching. And I will see you then. Goodbye.